I'm on the building committee, and I wanted to answer a few questions about what our new church is going to look like. Come with me on a little video tour of the interior of the church. Come on. We've gone around to the side of the entrance to the narthex. We don't want to walk around the scaffolding where it would be unsafe. But the scaffolding is above the doors, the main processional doors, going into the narthex of our new church. Let's go inside and look at the narthex. This is our new narthex. If you've been in St. William's or St. Margaret Mary, this narthex will be approximately the same size as those two churches. It'll be a different shape, but square footage will be about the same. We're at the entrance where the processional doors go into the main sanctuary on my left, and our entrance doors into our narthex to the right. Behind me is the processional doors going into our new sanctuary. To my right is the alcove where we'll have our statue of St. Vincent de Paul. And to my left is where we'll have a complimentary statue of St. Louise Mariac in her alcove. It's right there. We're going to be walking into the family alcove, which is about 2/3 of the size of our current narthex in our current church. Follow me. This area will have clear glass windows into the worship space and stained glass windows to the outside. There will be a quiet area for parents to take the children during Mass if they've become a little busy and can quiet down and then rejoin us in our worship. We also have, at the end of this family alcove, we have a family bathroom with a water fountain and an emergency-only exit. The building committee envisions this area as also a very nice place for families to share some time with their loved ones that have passed away before a funeral mass. We're back at the processional doors where we'll go into the sanctuary. These will be the doors that will be open for the beginning of Mass, where we have smaller doors for individual entry and glass windows between the doors. Follow me. We're going to go into the worship space, where one of the first things you might notice is the big hole in the ground. This is going to be our baptismal font. It is 14 feet by 14 feet in the shape of a cruciform. So we'll have concrete poured into these four corners to be part of the floor. It's a big hole right now, but it will be a beautiful cruciform shape with an immersion font stepping in for baptisms at the Easter Vigil. To my right is one of the reconciliation rooms, where we have a matching reconciliation room on the other side. And then we'll go back this way toward one of the ambulatories that we have on each side of our worship space. The ambulatory will be the keeper of the Stations of the Cross, where we have 14 columns made for our stations to be displayed. Follow me. Our view from here is the columns from the end of the ambulatory, 4 columns, number 5 columns, which will be where the Stations of the Cross will be mounted. 7 stations on each side and 7 stations on the other side. We're going to pan from the end of our ambulatory to the other side of the church, where the other ambulatory with the last of the stations are going to be mounted. The ambulatory goes from into the shrine areas, into the choir area, onto the altar area, the reservation chapel, the shrine on the other side of the church, and the second ambulatory on the west side of the church, along with the reconciliation room at the end. At the end of the ambulatory is the shrine and alcoves on each side of the church. I'm standing inside one of the shrines where we have a large private private devotional area to spend time with Mary or Joseph. This shrine and the other one on the other side is 22 feet by 13 feet. I'm 5 foot. That's how much space is in here. When we're done, when this space is done, there will be a cut stone, limestone wall in front of me with a private entrance area on each side where you can walk in and have private devotion time. On each side of the shrine areas, we'll have mosaics of the Communion of Saints. These mosaic walls at these areas will be 10 feet wide and 12 feet high. And we have 4 of those to go on each side of the shrine areas. I'm walking from the baptismal font down the sloped floor to where the beginning of the altar area is going to be. You're looking at me from the altar area itself. We have a sloped floor for our radial wooden pews with kneelers that will be placed in the church so that you can view the altar straight on from anywhere you sit in the church. I'm at the east side of the church at one shrine. Follow me and we'll look at the rest of the church. This is the choir area that will have 3 concrete risers. The area itself is about the same size as our current dining room, to give you a frame of reference. I'm walking into the sanctuary area where the floor has gone flat again from the sloped floor. We're going to have more concrete poured in this area, which will raise the sanctuary up to 2 steps high, where we'll have the altar and the ambo and the presider's chairs, and where our priest will celebrate the Mass. The back wall behind me will be a rough limestone wall with an inset for our crucifix, our 15-foot tall cross and crucifix, with our 8-foot diameter rose window at the top. The 2 altar glass windows behind me will have liturgical art glass patterns in them once they've been funded. You're looking at me from just about where the altar is going to stand. We're going to have a 6-foot square altar made from granite and Jerusalem limestone. As you're looking at that 8-foot diameter rose window, we're going to pan up and show you the ceiling, which is the tower above our altar. The metal grid that you're looking at is going to hold tongue and groove wood planks, similar to our hardwood floors that some of us have. Those windows will stay clear glass to let daylight in. We're panning toward the wood beams that are going across the ceiling, where we'll have more of that wood planking behind it, onto our baptismal font high window that will have stained glass. Most of the beams are wood, but the 4 huge beams supporting the church for us are made of iron. Those beams will be painted to match the wooden beams that were in place. Structurally, we needed to have the iron beams. They are the same shape as the wood beams and will look very similar to the wood beams when they've been painted. Going back to our 8-foot diameter window, we're going to go left from the stone wall to our reservation chapel, which is a 25-foot octagonal room, which will be the home for our new tabernacle. We're going to walk through the glass doors and the glass wall into the reservation chapel, where our tabernacle will be will be kept. The tabernacle will be in the center of the room with its own tower above it with planked ceiling and a lowered light ring to accent our beautiful new tabernacle. From the church, you will be able to see the tabernacle through these glass windows, but the chapel also allows the parishioners private time before the Blessed Sacrament. From this reservation chapel, we'll have more glass walls going into our daily chapel. The daily chapel will also have the plank ceilings like in the rest of the worship space. This daily chapel is 4 times the size of our current daily chapel. Another frame of reference is this chapel is 1/4 the size of our current worship space. You will be able to seat 150 to 200 people in this chapel. The wall behind me, where the crucifix will hang, will also be a stone wall, similar to the wall behind our main worship space with the rose window. We have 7 windows facing Lena Avenue, which will have stained glass when funded. Standing back in the daily chapel, I'd like to show you some of our behind-the-scenes rooms that we can devote to specific needs in our new building. Behind the daily chapel, behind the choir area, we have a big multi-purpose room that can be used for both the choir practice and as an additional meeting room, which we never have enough of. And there is dedicated storage space for choir, for music, for art and environment, and for our new organ that will be here for our dedication mass. This area is back behind the choir, and we're going to go back into the big worship space and show you how to get back in there. Here we are back at our choir area. Hi, we're on the west ambulatory side where there's a little bit more construction materials, so we won't walk down this ambulatory. It is a working construction area, so please remember to not go behind the fences and do some exploring on your own. We're going to go from this ambulatory into our doorway to access to other areas in the church, including the bathrooms. Follow me. We have the bathrooms right here in our back area of the church. The priest's vesting sacristy is in this hallway. Follow me. We're going to go walk by the altar server's room right here. A workroom that will be locked off with electrical stuff. Here's our walkway back to the church. Another workroom, nobody goes in. This room is for the hospitality ministers when they check in and get ready to help you with Mass. And our last doorway is our bridal room, bereavement room, private room for families that want to spend time together. Now, we're back in the narthex where we started from. I want to thank you for going on the tour with me. I hope I've answered a few of your questions. If you have any other questions, the building committee is always at your disposal to answer anything that we possibly can. If we don't know the answer, we'll find somebody who does know the answer and get it back to you. So let us know what you need to find out. We do have our construction on time, on schedule, for our dedication mass that is still scheduled for October 27th, and we hope to see every one of you there. We have a lot of room, and we want to fill the space with your voices. So thank you for coming on a tour with me, and I'll see you at Mass.